Subscribe the channel for latest updates. Press the bell icon. Get ready for the dictation. At the count of 3, 2, 1, start. The office of the Speaker occupies a pivotal position in our parliamentary democracy. It has been said of the office of the Speaker that while the members of Parliament represent the individual constituencies, the Speaker represents the full authority of the House itself. He symbolizes the dignity and power of the House over which he is presiding. Therefore, it is expected that the holder of this office of high dignity has to be one who can represent the House in all its manifestations. The responsibility entrusted to the Speaker is so onerous that he cannot afford to overlook any aspect of parliamentary life. His actions come under close scrutiny in the House and are also widely reported in the mass media. With the televising of proceedings of Parliament, the small screen brings to millions of households in the country the day to day developments in the House, making the Speaker's task all the more important. Even though the Speaker speaks rarely in the House, when he does, he speaks for the House as a whole. The Speaker is looked upon as the true guardian of the traditions of parliamentary democracy. His unique position is illustrated by the fact that he is placed very high in the warrant of precedence in our country, standing next only to the President, the Vice President, and the Prime Minister. In India, through the Constitution of the land, through the rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha, and through the practices and conventions, adequate powers are vested in the office of the Speaker to help him in the smooth conduct of the parliamentary proceedings and for protecting the independence and impartiality of the office. The Constitution of India provides that the Speaker's salary and allowances are not to be voted by Parliament and are to be charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. Speaker holds office from the date of his election till immediately before the first meeting of the Lok Sabha after the dissolution of the one to which he was elected. He is eligible for re-election. On the dissolution of the Lok Sabha, although the Speaker ceases to be a member of the House, he does not vacate his office. The Speaker may at any time resign from office by writing under his hand to the Deputy Speaker. The Speaker can be removed from office only on a resolution of the House passed by a majority of all the then members of the House. Such a resolution has to satisfy some conditions, like it should be specific with respect to the charges and it should not contain arguments, inferences, ironical expressions, imputations, or defamatory statements, etc. Not only these discussions should be confined to charges referred to in the resolution. It is also mandatory to give a minimum of 14 days notice of the intention to move the resolution. In the Lok Sabha chamber, the Speaker's chair is distinctively placed and from his seat he gets a commanding view of the entire House. In so far as the proceedings are concerned, he is guided by the provisions of the Constitution and the rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha. He also benefits from the directions issued by his predecessors, which are compiled periodically. Besides, he is assisted by the Secretary General of the Lok Sabha and senior officers of the Secretariat on parliamentary activities and on matters of practice and procedure. In the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker discharges his functions. A member from the panel of chairmen presides over the House in the absence of both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. The Speaker has extensive functions to perform in matters administrative, judicial, and regulatory falling under his domain. He enjoys vast authority under the Constitution and the rules as well as inherently. As the conventional head of the Lok Sabha and as its principal spokesman, the Speaker represents its collective voice. Of course, he is the ultimate arbiter and interpreter of those provisions which relate to the functioning of the House. His decisions are final and binding and ordinarily cannot be questioned, challenged, or criticized.